friends, welcome to or back to my channel. My name's Haley and today we're going to be doing my book haul. So, this is my quarterly book haul. So this is going to be for July, August, and September. I think I bought less books than last time, being like the last quarter, which was April through June, but April was my birthday month, so I think I kind of went a little crazy, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know at the end. I'll do like a total. Just like last time, I am going to divide the books up into different categories and go from there. Before we go into this, if I gave like a full detailed synopsis for all of these books, we would be here for 8 years. And also, I don't honestly know a full detailed synopsis for all of these books, so I'll tell you what I know, I'll do my best, and then we're just going to roll along. The first category is Book of the Month books that I have bought in July, August, and September. As I am filming this right now, it's currently October 1st, and I think I'm going to skip Book of the Month for this month because none of the books sound appealing to me. But in September, I got The Love Elixir of Augusta Stern, and this is about Augusta, who is in her 80s, and she is kind of like revisiting her life back in the 20s when her dad was a pharmacy and she was debating on going to pharmacy school, but her aunt was like a little more eclectic and kind of more into like apothecary type solutions. So it seems interesting. I love an old lady narrator. I love the pharmacy apothecary vibes. So I'm very excited to read this one. And you know, it has a mortar and pestle on the front. So like, what more could you want? In August, I got Annie Bot because I want to try to read some sci-fi. This one's pretty short. It seems not too like out of my realm of understanding, and I've heard a lot of good reviews about this one. This one is basically about a robot named Annie, and she's like meant to be a companion for this male, and it kind of turns into more than she should be capable of, I believe. Not really sure beyond that. And then next I have Hera by Jennifer Saint, and this is just a Greek mythology retelling about Hera. It says that when Hera and Zeus overthrow their father, she dreams of ruling at Zeus's side, but she begins to see that Zeus is just as ruthless and cruel as his father, and she is relegated to the role of wife and mother, a role she never wanted. So I believe this is just a retelling. I've not read like too many stories about Hera. I feel like she's kind of just like a side character in everyone else's story. So I am interested to read this story about her. And I also have quite a few other Greek mythology retellings that I'm hoping to dive into soon. So hopefully I can get to this one. And in July, I got The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer, and I can't really remember what this is. Oh, this is like the book that is like Narnia coded. I don't really know much more than that. I know that this is so cute. I love the stars on the back. And then I also got Jackpot Summer, and I really can't remember what this is about. It's like a family contemporary fiction, and I was really feeling contemporary fiction this summer. That was like my favorite thing that I was reading. So I was seeing good reviews. I picked it up because it was going with the vibes. So that is all for Book of the Month. So my next category is going to be books that I have already read that I wanted to own a copy of, which I know I'm so annoying for doing this, but I just couldn't help it. Again, I like to buy books because I like to lend my books to other people. So I like to have the books that I love, and I like to be able to share them with people. So this time it's only 5 though, so that's pretty good. So the first one is The Push by Ashley Aldrain, and this is a story about motherhood. And I really don't want to go too into it because I don't know what's on the flap and I don't want to spoil anything. But this book shook me to my core. The last line of this book, I still think about it like every day. And I read this book in like January. So this book, kind of iconic. If you want to be a mother, it's kind of terrifying. But it was a really good book. And I also loved The Whispers by her. So yeah, this was a good one. I had to have this one. Next, we have Percy Jackson Book 1, because I found this beautiful brand new copy of the newest editions at Goodwill for 99 cents. So, like, how could you not buy this? Next, I got my Book of the Month version of Daisy Jones and the Six. And I was super excited about this one because Second & Charles had a penny per page sale in August, I believe, and it was literally you could get up to 6 used books for a penny per page. And this book is so popular they try to charge way too much. It's like $14 normally, and so I was so excited that they had a copy and I was able to get it for like $3 because it has like 300 pages, I think. Yeah. It has like $3.50, so like $3.50. So if you don't know, this book follows Daisy Jones, and she joins the band of the Six, and it just kind of follows them. And this whole book is told in interviews, which is really cool. The audiobook is also very awesome. Most of the time, there's a few times where they kind of get going and they don't identify themselves, and it gets a little confusing because most of the characters are guys, but like overall this is a really great story. And I love this whole little like 70s universe she's created with like this book and the Seven Husbands and Malibu Rising and Carrie Soto. Like that whole situation is fire. The other one, I got this one also at the penny per page sale, is the special edition of One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. This book is gorgeous. This book is flawless. And this beautiful. They were trying to resell it for $15, but it's like $30. The artwork on the inside is just spectacular. We have the pink book, and then we have the Converse on the back. And we have a different little scene here. Oh my gosh, this book is stunning. And it has pink sprayed edges. This book and I normally am not like a special edition person, but like this one is so beautiful and it's so pink and just fantastic. And I love this book. And I also have the special edition of Red, White, and Royal Blue because like how can you pass up? And I got this for like $4. Oh my god, I almost cried when I found this. I was like, this is not real life. And then the last book that I bought that I already read is The Three Lives of Alix St. Pierre. And this is a historical fiction novel that follows Alix. And I really enjoyed this one. I read it earlier this year and I would recommend it. So picked it up. I found it at Ollie's literally like 2 days ago for $5. So can't beat that. The next little section that I have is going to be kind of like contemporary fiction. So I have The Summer of '69 by Ellen Hildebrand. This was my book club's August pick, but I didn't really end up going to the meeting, so I didn't read this, honestly. But it's about like 4 siblings and like their summer. And I am excited. I've never read an Ellen Hildebrand book. I got A Little Hope by Ethan Joella, and I also do not know what this book is about at all. I also got this at the penny per page sale. And I just know that everyone loves his books and they like give them 5 stars and they just say they're like so emotional and impactful. So I'm excited for this one. It's pretty short. And then I got The Most Fun We Ever Had. This one was influenced by Gabby from Gabby Reads. She read this book. I think it was like the Reese's Book Club pick and she loved it. And it's about like sisters and I love like family sister dynamic books. And so I really wanted to read it. And I also got this one at the penny per page, and this is a thick boy. So this one was $15, like even used, and this one is like 500 some pages. So got it for $5, which is still a great deal. So I got that one. And so that is my contemporary fiction. I did get a little bit of nonfiction, which is very out of character for me. One of these I really didn't mean to buy, and I know you're like, that sounds stupid. I get it, but I did. I bought Shoeless Joe, which is about the inspiration for the movie Field of Dreams. And I honestly have not watched Field of Dreams. I feel like I shouldn't say that as a baseball fan, but I have not watched that movie, but this is the inspiration behind it, and maybe once I read it, I'll go watch the movie. And like they play the Field of Dreams games now in the MLB like every year, and so that's like fun, so I kind of wanted to know more. And then the other book that I got is called ADHD is Awesome, and it's not official, but like sometimes you just kind of know. And I saw this book in Barnes & Noble and I was really vibing. It's like very colorful and interactive, and I just like want to learn more about ADHD. And this is like written by a person who has ADHD or is in a relationship with someone who is. I can't remember. But it's like just to help you kind of like, it says a guide to mostly thriving with ADHD. Yeah, so I'm excited for this one. I hopefully will get into this one. It's not something that I'm obviously gonna like bend, but yeah, that's my nonfiction. And then I have a couple like mystery thrillers. So first one is It's Elementary, and I saw this one at Target. It's like the Target book club pick like earlier this year. And this is about a principal who goes missing after a spicy PTA meeting, I believe. And it just sounds cute. I love reading books about teachers, so I had to pick this one up. And then we have The Fellowship of Puzzle Makers. This book came onto my radar when I was doing my summer bingo, and one of the prompts was a puzzle book. And I saw this one, and I don't really remember what it's about, but it says an extraordinary, gloriously uplifting novel about the power of friendship and the puzzling ties that bind us. So it seemed really good, and I found it at Barnes & Noble 50% off, and so I was able to pick it up then. And then the other book I got is Lisa Scottoline, What Happened to the Bennetts, and this was inspired by Haley from Haley Hughes. She read this book and like absolutely loved it, and so then when I found it at the penny per page sale, I got it. It's like a thriller. I think like the dad is in like witness protection or something about, it says your family has been attacked and never again to be the same. Now you have to choose between law and justice. So it's kind of like a crime thriller. I think there's like witness protection stuff, but it seems really good. Next we have some fantasy. I believe this first one is technically romantasy, but I don't know because I haven't read it. This is Apprentice to the Villain, and this is the second book to Assistant to the Villain, which I also have not read. But I found this when I was in New York. It had just come out and it had the sprayed edges, and this one is signed by the author. And so I went ahead and got the signed one while I was in New York, even though I haven't read the first one. I think I'll like it. And then the other two fantasy books I got are Blade of Secrets and Master of Iron. And this is a duology from Trisha Levenseller, and she wrote the Daughter of the Pirate King series. And I love those books, so I wanted to give these a try. I have read the synopsis before, and it did sound interesting. One time I got this book from the library, and someone stopped me and said, that's my favorite book I've ever read. I still haven't read them, but I found them at BAM for pretty cheap, and so I definitely want to check these out. I do want to get more into fantasy. I don't know. I feel like I say this all the time. I'm always like, I want to read more fantasy. I want to read more fantasy, and I buy a ton of it. And then I don't read it, but I don't know. I have a complicated relationship. But that is the fantasy books I've gotten. Next, we will go to middle grade. So I got the Arusha, The End of Time. This is one of the Rick Riordan Presents. I'm obsessed with Rick Riordan and all of his series, even though I haven't read some of them. But I also want to get into the Rick Riordan Presents books, and I found this one for $1.95, and it's in really good condition. So I picked this one up. I believe this is like Indian culture. Yeah, Indian culture. So I'm excited to learn about that. I love these little cutie books, just from with these like middle grade little things, mythology. I just love it all. Next, I have The Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. And I feel like somebody has recommended this book before, and it sounded good, so I picked it up. And then the other middle grade I have is Hazel Bly in the Deep Blue Sky by Ashley Herring Blake. And I've read Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World and The Mighty Heart of Sunny St. James, and both love those and give them 5 stars. Middle grade is some of the most heartwarming, beautiful books ever. And so when I found this one at the book fair, I definitely had to pick it up. And then the next category is going to be young adult books. And so these are kind of a mix of genres, but they're all young adult. So the first one is HomeField Advantage by Dahlia Adler. And I recently read Cool for the Summer by them, and I did enjoy it. So I'm excited to pick this one up. I do want to read like more sports romance. So this is fun. We got a little football cheerleader action going on, but maybe make it gay. And then I picked up I Kiss Sherwheeler by Casey McQuiston. I don't know why I haven't read this book yet. I've read their other books, and I just read The Pairing. It was a no for me, but I think people like this one, so I do want to read this one. Hello, we're back. The light died, and then my camera died, and then I went to dinner, and my hair's kind of crazy now, but we're back to finish the book haul. We're back. So if everything looks different, it is different. Okay, so the next book I got is Meet Cute, and this is a bunch of stories by different authors, and it's just a bunch of meet cutes. And I thought that was super fun. It has, let's see, Jennifer Armentrout, Nina LaCour, Catherine McGee, Cass Morgan, Julie Murphy, Nicola Yoon. So it has a ton of different authors on here, so I just thought this would be super fun. I believe I also got this one on the penny per page sale. Next, I got On the Subject of Unmentionable Things, and Kirsten from Kirsten's Corner read this and liked it. I think she liked it. Even if she didn't, it made me want to read it, and so it's been in my brain forever, and then I found it at the book fair, so I got this one. I don't really know what it's about. I think it's like about like sex ed. Yeah, so it's like about like a sex ed blog in high school, and it seems interesting. And then this one is called Timeout, and it is a basketball romance. yeah, so that's fun. So those are my YA books. And then the last category, which is the biggest category, which like I swear I say this isn't my favorite genre, but I guess it is romance. And so first I got these two books by Katie Roberts. So we have Hunt on Dark Waters and Blood on the Tide. And these are pirate books, I believe. It says a stern captain meets his witchy match in this captivating first fantasy romance novel in the Crimson Sails series. And if you know me, you know I love Katie Robert, even though her books are kind of mids. I just love them. So yeah, what can I say? Okay, this book, I got it at Barnes & Noble. It's 50% off. It's called On and Off the Field. And it says a new beginnings romance novel, which makes me think it's part of a series. It says, what do you do after being left at the altar? You flee the state, of course. And it's about this cheerleading coach and like the football coach or something. And it sounds honestly really bad, but like I couldn't resist. Oh no, it's a baseball coach. Baseball and cheerleading, which are like my two favorite sports. So yeah, and cheerleading is a sport, by the way. But I just thought this sounded like really funny, and it was pretty cheap. It was only like, it was $15 and then it was 50% off, so it was only like $7.50. So I was like, okay, I gotta get this. Next, I got While We Were Dating by Jasmine Guillory. This is the 6th book in the wedding party series or the wedding date. Sorry, I think it's called the wedding date series. And it came out like later than the other ones. This was the only one I didn't physically own in this series. So I bought this one. I've only read the first 3, so I have 3 more to go. I also bought Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert. So again, another Katie Robert. This is like 3 novella books kind of in one, and she kind of has this in another book or two, but yeah, I have been wanting to read this. After I read Bride by Ali Hazelwood, I've been like, I want to read more vampire books, and then my queen Katie Robert had one, so I was like, heck yeah, so I got this. So it like looks really thick, and it is thick, but I'm pretty sure it's like 3 different like books in one, kind of. Yeah, so it has 3 acts, I believe. So, yeah, I think I will like that. Also, she has another series that is like the O'Malley's or something, and I've bought like a few of those on my Kindle. So like, and then she also has the Villain series, but those are like pretty short, and I feel like they're not worth buying physically because they're kind of ugly too, in my opinion. But I've read some of those as well. And then I got Lunar Love because I want to read more holiday books that aren't just Christmas romances. So I got this one for Chinese New Year, and I have a couple other ones stored away. So I will probably be doing that reading vlog later on. And then I got the cheat sheet and the rule book, and I don't even remember buying the cheat sheet, but now I have both of these in this like little series. I believe the cheat sheet comes first. And these are both football romances. This one's like a football and a dancer, and then this one is like a football and like his manager, I believe. So yeah, we got these. It says the rule book is a second chance, and this one says friends to lovers. So there we go with those. Again, I'm trying to be a sports romance girly. And then I got The Good Part by Sophie Cousins, and this is about a girl who's like, I just want to skip to the good part of my life, and then she like does, I'm pretty sure. So she like skips forward, and she's like married. I thought it sounded interesting. I've heard good reviews of it, so I definitely want to read this one. I also have Dark Restraint by Katie Robert. This is the 7th book in the Dark Olympus series, and the fact that I have not read this yet is honestly criminal, but I've been busy and barely reading, so this is coming soon. This is coming so soon. And then I bought Don't Want You Like a Best Friend. This is by Emma Albin, and these are like historical gay romances. There's this one, and then the second one is called You're the Problem, It's You, which if you don't know, those are both based off Taylor Swift lyrics, which I love that. And so yeah, I love that. These are based off Taylor Swift lyrics. I've heard good things about these. I don't like the font at the top, but this one, I think it's like, I mean, they're gay, so obviously they don't want to find husbands in their little debutante seasons, but nonetheless, we're excited for this one. And then the last book that I have is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and I did read this one this month, and I did really enjoy it, and I do recommend this series. This is part of the Part of Your World little trilogy. They're standalones, but they are interconnected. And I will say this one has a huge connection to the first book that I didn't see coming, but I really liked. And so definitely, I think if you've read the other books, you will enjoy this book even more. So that is all of the books that I hauled. I definitely think I hauled more the last time. I've been trying to control myself. I'm not doing very well, obviously, because I still bought all of these books. But I did have a couple of fun book shopping trips the past couple months where I acquired these. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Love you.